So where does Nigerian government want the youth of today and the children, the people of university age, college of education age, polytechnic, and all tertiary institutions, children of that age, young people of that age, or people who have been working and want to just further their education, where does Nigeria expect them to get this education? Because it's not everybody that will have the money to send their children abroad. It's not everybody that will be able to afford private education, private university education. It's not everybody that will be able to exit the country to go and get education in other places. Excuse me. You can't get food in Nigeria. You can't get amenities in Nigeria. And you can't even get basic education right now. What is happening now is that JAMB is jamming the destinies of a lot of Nigerians. Jam, you know, when they say jam in Nigeria, jam is like gridlock. It's like another word is go slow, or where something is stuck, stranded. Like jam means stuck. Now jam is jamming and jambing the life and destiny of a lot of people right now. You heard what happened when JAMB last week released the results of those who sat for JAMB this 2025. And it's not a good story at all. It's very, very concerning. Why? Because where is the alternative for an average person in Nigeria? Now, the JAMB result is totally complicated, totally messed up, totally ruined. There have been a lot of things that have happened from year to year in the past, but this one is just way out of range. JAMB has come out to release a press statement, but I do not know how far-reaching this press statement will be in replacing and restoring people's confidence and their destiny. Let me give you a quick background story. Now, the examination body JAMB has ordered an urgent review of the 2025 UTME results. UTME is University and Tertiary Institutions Matriculation Exam. Why? There are a lot of complaints. There is mass failure as well. Welcome to If You Ask Jimmy. This is not a sweet episode. It's an episode of concern and an episode of serious agitation of many Nigerians whose voice I represent on this channel. Please, if you are yet to subscribe, please kindly take a second, click the subscribe button. Help me to support my channel. Help me to support this channel so that we can continue to have these conversations, that we can learn, we can grow, and have a better society. I really thank you for subscribing at this time. Thank you. Guys, there is controversy right now because there is widespread, discontent, complaint after JAMB data revealed that 1.5 million out of 1.9 million candidates who sat for the 2025 UTME exams scored below 200 out of the 400 possible marks. Now, JAMB has, there's a public outcry, the children, the students, their parents, all stakeholders. And now, JAMB has issued a statement. Let me show you here. Public complaints regarding the release of 2025 UTME. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB acknowledges the significant volume of unusual complaints following the release of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Exam UTM result, which was officially published last Friday. In response, the board is fast-forwarding its annual system review, a comprehensive postmortem of the examination process that is conducted each year, months after the exercise. Now, what JAMB is saying here is that normally they have an annual review after the exam, which will take into consideration the registration, the exam, and the release. Now, because of this particular exception, how will I put it now, very disturbing situation, JAMB said, we are particularly concerned about the unusual complaints originating from a few states within the federation. and that they are currently scrutinizing these complaints in detail to identify and rectify any potential technical issues. This is a press release from JAMB. And they said to assist in this process, we have engaged a number of experts, including members of the Computer Professionals Association of Nigeria, chief external examiners who are heads of tertiary institutions, the Educational Assessment and Research Network in Africa, measurement experts, and vice chancellors from various institutions. If it is determined that there were indeed glitches, we will implement appropriate remedial measures promptly, as we do in case of examinations themselves. Well, you can call it just a PR response. This particular time is a PR response to this issue. Why am I saying this? Because naturally, a lot of people are so frustrated with this situation at this time, and they are not mincing words. You know, JAMB has had different kind of situations at hand before, where they, deal with individual cases. This one is a mass. Is it a glitch? It's more than a glitch. It is a scandalous, a scandalous, borrow me English, guys, or lend me English, loan me English occurrence. This, they even themselves, they agreed it is an unusual volume of complaints. And this can't be a glitch. They are saying that if it is determined there were indeed glitches. Look, I mean, all Nigerians cannot be brain dead. And nobody is brain dead here. This is it's very obvious that something went wrong, and went wrong big time this time around. You see, this CBT, is it by force? We want to experiment this in Nigeria. We want to move forward. We want to catch up, at least with the rest of the world. But is it by force? Is it overnight? The same way this Nigerian government tried to introduce cashless, and people were dying at the bank just because they couldn't have access to cash on the street. People now they use money to buy money with POS. You do not have the banking penetration in Nigeria. You do not have the penetration of ATMs that can guarantee that people can go there and withdraw money. You do not have the penetration of banking apps as at that time to be able to cater for things. NIN, there are people that slumped and died at the NIN registration center. Why is it everything Nigeria? Of course, we have to, be technologically, current. But at the same time, this is possible for government to do because they have the resources and they can make this happen. But why is it that despite the level of expertise that we have in Nigeria, manpower, and the knowledge that people have, anything that has to do with government, they always mess people off. They mess people up, right? Why is it that now that JAMB has rolled out their automated system, they are now having this massive problem? From time to time, they have pockets of issues which they probably are able to resolve. But this mass rollout, a lot of people complain about power outage at the exam centers. There were people that were rescheduled. There were people that had to go and take their exams in other places. Why must it be everything Nigeria? It has to be by pain. I am sitting here. I graduated university more than 28 years ago. And out of those years, I spent up to 3 years at home. My matriculation number I'm supposed to graduate 1995. I graduated 1997 plus strike, Abacha strike. Now, you would have expected that time ASU will come out and fight, and they will say that our take-home pay cannot take us home. I know how many years we spent at home. Now, our own children. My last child just graduated from university just 1 week ago here in America. But I didn't have that kind of privilege. How many parents? Okay, now, I suffered my own and my children's own. Now I'm able to at least, manage a different environment for them by just the grace of God. How many parents in Nigeria are able, even if everybody can afford it, why can't we study in our own country? You want to frustrate everybody out? In the past, when you have even a first degree, you are good. Now, parents will send their children to university, not just public universities. They have to send to private universities, and those children, their first degree there is not enough. They might even have a master's in those private universities, and the parents will still get them out of Nigeria. What is the percentage of children that can be sent out of Nigeria to go and study? Because study visas are easier for younger people. Why? Because study is part of the economy. Universities and colleges are part of the economy of so many of these foreign countries, and we Nigerians, we are their customers. How many people can afford that? Even if everybody can afford it, why can't we study in our own country? Why can't people? People are already frustrated. This JAMB thing, I am so surprised. This is JAMB that is declaring profit. This is JAMB that is declaring that they are saving a lot of money for government. People were praising them with due regards to the leadership. People were praising them, and I have this concern. I wasn't on YouTube at that time. I was going to ask a question. Is this an exam body or a revenue generating body? Why will you charge people? Why will you generate revenue that you are declaring excess of billions? In the first place, have you been able to deploy that revenue apart from paying? Because JAMB was subsidized by government before. I think they are able, from what they are generating now, it looks like they are able to break even. Now, why would you have that kind of surplus when it means that you have overcharged people? You have overcharged these students. It is not a happy surplus. It is not a nice experience at all. It is not even a good story, because if you have charged people minimally, you wouldn't be declaring all those surpluses, meaning that even the money you have in excess, you did not make provision in excess. You did not make adequate provision for these examinations, because the logistics are very, very watery, very, very paltry, very, very inadequate. Oh yeah, very, very inadequate. The only thing we will hear is when they will celebrate how they caught people like me, Summer, and then it will now become an issue, and they will be flexing. What exactly happened with this particular exam? Is it by force? Yes, it is by force. Dr. Fabian came out, that is the PRO of JAMB. Oh, am I yelling? Come on, let me calm down. I'm really agitated about this. This guy came out and was telling us that JAMB is actually the origin of JAMB. How they needed a unified, process of admitting people. Right here in the country where I am, there is no unification. You do not have to unify anything. Who has this JAMB favored? He was talking as if it's going to help the universities to select the best. Which best? With quota system? Is it the same cutoff everywhere? Does every university have the same catchment areas where some people are not able to even get in with high scores? Some people are able to get in with lower scores, even from states other than their own, because they are federal universities and people from anywhere can go to anywhere elsewhere, and then they will still get admission. Quota system. Where's the merit? It is just a totally confused environment. Totally confused. And look at the pain and the agony that they are causing the whole of the country right now. Because I know that something went wrong and went seriously wrong. Look, we know technology will always be technology. There will always be human input, human error. There could be bugs, there could be code defects, there could be different things that could affect even software that is used to run things. But at this scale, there are things that is called testing in software development. Definitely, even though there could be pockets of minor errors here and there is supposed to have been a kind of test, like a stress test on the system, because this particular thing is to be deployed. They know the number of people that they enrolled. They could even project at the time of developing this IT infrastructure for this particular deployment. They will know what to anticipate. As a matter of fact, they will overestimate the participants, and they are aware of how many students registered for this exam. If you know what went under, you will realize that this inefficiency is going to cost some people additional year. How they are going to fix this, I don't know. How it's not going to improve the credibility of JAMB, I do not know. Because this is not an individual thing. Look at it. 78% of students scored below 200. I read some, posts online where people are saying, okay, these children are used to ChatGPT now. They are not even reading again. They are browsing on their phones. Is that why more than 78% of students should fail? And look at it. A lot of people whose capacity can handle this thing, who are still brilliant, who are still focused and learning, they are also caught up. This is actually a system error. There's a system error somewhere. We know that some people are not prepared. We know that a lot of students are distracted. We know that the lifestyle of so many students doesn't make any sense. What will you say about the biology teacher who has been teaching biology for how many years? 18 years. And he wrote this same exam and is showing biology 37. Well, the fact that he has been teaching doesn't mean that is absolutely perfect. But come to think of it, this man came out by himself. He is very sure of himself. He is what you call SME. He is a subject matter expert. It can't be so bad, right? The argument that students don't study like before are to blame for these JAMB failures is just a very small part of the story. I'm not throwing that part away. People are saying they should drop their phones and study hard. Yeah, they should take life serious. Yes. It's not about pressing phone. It's not about music or yahoo. Yes. But the point is that how does a parent process this when you watch a brilliant child of yours go through agony of examinations for no reasonable reason? Allow me that tautology. JAMB is being asked also. They say some of those results belong to underage people. They should declare the result of underage candidate. Why did your system not reject them if they are underage in the first place? Because they are saying that the underage, had underperformance. What does it matter? Most of the time, the younger ones are even more brilliant. They are sharp. All these things is just confusion. Is this technology at this time is required? Is it by force? That's the question, right? People are checking their results. They are getting the wrong parameters. How do you explain that? Right? They mistake people's birthday. There are a lot of glitches that could happen in the system. And now, some people are losing admission based on the error of JAMB. Very, very unfair. We know that the standard has been dropping. In our own days, the minimum you could even get for, every course is okay, is good. But for the least course, I'm sorry to say, some of those courses are in arts and everything, like those courses that are not even patronized by many, like history, like philosophy, all of those courses. The minimum in those days, I'm talking of 80s now, late 80s, was 200. And we know the standard has been dropping and dropping and dropping, but notwithstanding, this one is totally a different thing entirely. Someone scored 320 last year. And you know that your system had integrity, right? Because you are always catching those people who are involved in malpractices. So if that person scored 320 and this year they are scoring 160, then something is happening somewhere. And then, how do you see? This thing could be very expensive for the government of Nigeria. If JAMB is declaring surplus, they should take that surplus, probably reschedule these exams. Part of the problem, again, that people are mentioning is the fact, am I also not shouting or yelling again? How am I going to handle this? They are talking about people who are still in secondary school and are writing JAMB. Well, I don't want to join the argument because there are some people who are actually of age, but people who have not written SSCE that are writing JAMB. Can you see the misorder or the disorder? Right? Funny enough, this CPT exam, is this CBT, computer-based test, normally you should even produce instant result. It's not something that the candidate will have to wait forever. If it's not instant, maybe within a couple of days. And you can't even, why is our own always different? We import technology that has been used elsewhere. We are not even the ones that invented it. We are not reinventing the wheel. And then we still mess everything up. Right? This particular one, of course, they said they have this committee that is looking at it and everything. But it is not this year alone that people are failing UTME exams. But this one, this mass failure, people believe it has more to do with JAMB glitches and you should not stand in the way of people's destiny. Look, guys, this is phase 1. People are going to get into school and face the hurdles of the universities themselves, right from registration to all manner of things that are not even, that are not going to make their learning convenient for them. Please, JAMB, it's not everybody that can get Canada visa. It's not everybody that can get US visa. If I was in Nigeria, my own children too would have been in this web. What are you even going to do for this? What are you going to do right? Our head of institutions, our heads of parastatals. How did this even happen? How did this even happen? We can't get exams right. We can't get election right. We can't get NIN right. We can't get basic things of data collection and anything that has to do with tech. We can't even get our money right. We have to still buy it from the counter. Guys, this one is just an unfolding story. We're going to come back here and talk about it. I only hope it could be rectified, because they will be looking for the next grammar to, explain this one away. How are you going to rectify it? How is that going to now be just to the other students? Because almost every student now, we have an excuse that maybe JAMB messed me up. Nobody failed though. This year, nobody failed. Why? Everybody will say, when you are brilliant and you get the grades, you score high marks, you will say, I got it. I got the marks. I even beat the teacher, to it, right? I scored it. But when people fail, they will say, the teacher gave me this score. JAMB gave me this score. YA gave me this score. NECO gave me this score. But the one they passed very well, they will say, I killed it. I got the exam right. Our eyes are on this set of people called JAMB this time around. Dr. Fabian, I saw one of your interviews. Some of the answers were very, very ridiculous. Right. If your system is now helping to distribute marks and to cut people's marks, how are you going to rectify this? I don't just get it. Right? I do not know the logic. I don't know how this whole thing just happened. If the money you are collecting is not enough, maybe you should ask government to continue funding you, because all the centers that you had for this JAMB, it is in collaboration with some providers, and still you are not able to get it right. It's heartbreaking. You have thrown a lot of children into panic now. You have thrown a lot of parents into tension, because nobody wants their child to waste any year in this Nigerian system. People even have to finish school and wait for NYSC. NYSC was one batch before. Now we have 2 batches, batch A, batch B. I don't know if they already have batch C. There was poor network. Why must you? Is it by force? When you cannot provide this network for people, and you know how it happens, some people logged in twice and tried the same exams, and some of those things were not captured. This is where I will rest it right now, hoping that JAMB will just find a way around this. We do not want to see anybody suffer. We don't want to see anybody's career delayed. And we don't want someone to be unjustly failed. They say it's better for a 1,000 people who sin or have wrongdoing to go unpunished than a single innocent person to be punished, to be convicted. Now, I hope the innocent children who scored correct grades are not going to suffer for this total, to this thing that JAMB did. Thank you very much, guys. I will see you on the next one. Let's keep the conversation going. What's your opinion on what happened? Please put it in the comment section. Let's continue collaborating, and let's see if we can provide solutions to what JAMB is doing. But what I think is that they can keep their house in order. They can use a lot of those money to see if they can actually have, the kind of infrastructure that will help the computer-based tests. Yeah, sometimes when things are starting, they do have problems, but this problem should not be to the scale that it will stand in the way of people's destiny. School education in Nigeria or any part of Africa is almost a matter of life and life. I won't say life and death. And if people cannot japa, if they cannot run away to go and pay for education abroad, please let the poor breathe. Let the poor also and their children be able to, even this education is not even cheap. There is no single university in Nigeria now that people are not paying through their nurseries. nurses, even if there are public schools, public universities, not to talk of private. It is not even cheap. There are people who got admission and they are not even able to go to school right there in the public universities. Should they now quit this world to run to where? Because of what? Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, sorry, I was just so emotional about that. Have you subscribed? Please consider subscribing. Thank you. Click that subscribe button and also click the notification bell and like this video. Thank you for subscribing and thanks for supporting my channel. I'll see you on the next one. JAMB, we are waiting for a correction of this mass glitch or mistake. See you on the next one, guys. Bye.